Can you believe that there's only 2 months of racing left in the 2022 season? This year has gone by really fast, and the championship picture continues to take shape. In this edition of the Pit Preview, we're going to start off with the SK Modifieds, where Kyle Rickey standing by with our most recent podium finisher.
And Bonzo with a driver that captured his best career finish a week ago, finishing on the podium in Dan Wesson, coming home third. First off, congratulations on a good run. How much did you need that run to rebuild the confidence after what was a rough month before that?
Yeah, that was a really good confidence builder for us, for sure. Can't thank my guys enough. We've been tweaking on this thing for a good bit now, and I think we finally found something we can work with. But we'll keep building off it, and we'll keep pushing for better finishes.
Do you believe in momentum now, and what more do you need to get maybe 2 more spots up on the leaderboard?
Just a little bit. I mean, I don't think we're too far off. I think we're pretty even with Keith throughout that race. So I say if we keep making some minor adjustments and build a good notebook here in the next couple of months, we'll definitely have something by the end of the year.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's Dan Wesson coming off his career best third place effort in last week's XK Modified feature. Now let's hear from a driver that showed up 2 weeks ago and has done very well in the SKs with 2 6th place finishes with Nicola Rose.
New face to the SK Modifieds, but not a new face to Stafford Speedway. Anthony Flannery, you made your debut at the Senators Cup 2 weeks back. You have a 6th and a 6th in your 2 starts here, and tell us a little bit about how that came to be. We didn't really expect to see you here, and I don't think you expected to be here either.
No, we definitely weren't expecting to run weekly at Stafford, but the opportunity came about, and Todd asked me, and I said, sure, why not? And we came for the Senators Cup. We had a great car and a great finish, and it just kind of sparked it from there. And he asked if I wanted to run the rest of the year. It was kind of a no-brainer at that point. It's easy to make that decision when you're running good, but it's a lot of fun up here, getting a lot of good seat time, and tough competition.
There you go. We're looking forward to seeing Anthony run here tonight and for the rest of the season here in the SKs at Stafford. Right now, we're going to throw it to Bonzo with Andrew Moeller.
The 35 SK Modifieds looking a little bit different today. It's not the very nice, colorful paint scheme. It's a different car, Andrew. So what's the deal with this week in this car?
Like AC/DC says, we're back in black. So, I mean, all black car with our neon numbers. It's the car we run over at the Speed Bowl there. So we decided to bring it this week and give it a shot. So, struggled a little bit this year, and hopefully we can see what happens over here with this car. It's been pretty fast over there, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Now, is this something that could possibly be a sign of what's to come later in the year, or is this just a one-day type of deal?
Yeah, well, we're actually off this Saturday with the SK Mod over at the Speed Bowl, so we figured, we'd come give it a shot this week and see what happens. So Keith had a lot of success with his other car that he brought, last week and ended up with a win, so we're hoping to follow in his footsteps.
Speaking of Keith, he's pulling in right behind us right now with that big hauler. But the last time we saw this car on track, it did win at Waterford last week. And it's a good car, so we'll see what Andrew Moeller can do in the 35 SK. Now we're going to go to the SK Lights, where Kyle Rickey standing by with a rookie that's on a roll.
And Bonza, that driver is Jason Chapman, rookie in the SK Light Modifieds. And for the second time this season, on a streak of back-to-back top 5 runs. How's the season been for you in your rookie season and adapting to these cars on this racetrack?
It's been going better than I expected. We're still hoping for that win. We haven't got there yet, but we have gotten pretty close. So we still got one more goal in mind, and that's to win a race by the end of the year.
How tough is the competition out there? You said it wasn't what you expected. I guess what did you expect from the competition on the track this season?
Well, coming from the Waterford Speed Bowl last year, there's about 3 times as more cars here than there is at the Speed Bowl. The Speed Bowl there is about 12. On a good night, you'll have about 25, 26, 27 or so. So it is a lot more cars going around the track than I was used to last year and the year before that, but it's been going pretty well.
Well, Jason, best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Keep an eye on the number 44, looking for his 3rd consecutive top 5 finish in the SK Light Modifieds. Now Nicola Rose is able to catch up with tonight's street stock point leader.
July has been the Achilles heel for Travis Hydar in previous seasons with some DNFs last year and the year before, but this year, last week, it seemed like there was a glimmer of that very quickly. Tell us about your week here last week.
Last week the car was pretty fast throughout the day, and I went out for the feature. Started having some serious engine problems. Thing was overheating like crazy. We really don't know why, because everything was functioning exactly how it should be. So luckily we had another motor in the backup car. We put that motor in for this week, among fixing a bunch of other stuff, and we should be in pretty good shape here.
There you go. Travis Hyder in the 11 team making a pretty significant change to the car this week. We'll see if he can remain his speed. Now we're going to throw it to Bonza Tufa, standing with Matt Clement.
Nicole, last week, Matt Clement wasn't really sure if he was going to make tonight's race because of the damage he had in the wreck last week, but all of a sudden, you're here. How'd that turn out the way it did?
First and foremost, big shout out to Paul and Cam Verrecchio over at Rent a Race Car. And it was like the bottom of the ninth there on Sunday. I threw a Hail Mary, just shot him a message on Facebook about getting the car fixed, and he said, yeah, no problem, we're here, drop it off. So we brought it down there. They had all the bumpers bent back into place, had some stuff cut and welded and fixed up for us in, I think it was like 3 hours, so I can't say thank you to them enough.
Now, your car is good to go. Jay's car is good to go because he was involved in the same accident. I do want to ask something because you love to brag about racing with your brothers and sometimes beating them. But what did it mean for you to see Jay get his first career podium a couple weeks ago?
Oh man, I don't know if you guys caught any of that on camera, but I was ecstatic. He was running up there in second. Jeremy got to run underneath him there, and I was like, Jay, keep it down there, don't let him take it. And he did exactly that, and I couldn't be more happy for him, for my family. We put in so many hours on these cars that it was a huge relief to see him finally get up there and do well.
Well, we'll see what the Clement brothers can do tonight. They're both back together and ready to go. And we're all ready to go to end July off with another Friday night under the lights. And if you're not here, we hope to see you here. And if you are here, let's go to the booth and get this party started.
All right, thank you very much, Bonza Tufa, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Stafford Motor Speedway. Those are just some of the storylines in our 5 weekly divisions. We expect more to take shape here tonight, as hard to believe, as Bonza mentioned at the start of that preview, we are into the final week of July. Hard to believe. August right around the corner. Dave Baribolt joins me up here topside. And Dave, the summer's zipping by, and the point races are heating up in all 5 of our weekly divisions here at Stafford.
Yeah, they are, Kyle. And as you say, I think that it was just seconds that we were here for the Spring Sizzler and the running of that race. And now here we are, just 2 months left as we get ready to go racing tonight.
Heat races on tap next. The street stocks will be the first division to take to the racetrack. Again, want to thank everybody for coming out on what has turned out to be a beautiful Friday evening in North Central Connecticut for our 5 weekly divisions of racing. Of course, next week, a big night for our SK Modifieds. We'll talk more about that as the evening progresses with the 9th annual Napa Auto Parts SK 5K, and a lot of money on the line for our premier division, a division that is currently being led by Todd Owen in the championship standings. Only 1 win on the season, but he's been Mr. Consistency so far this year, as was the case a year ago when he won his first track championship. Ronnie Williams currently second in the championship fight, trying to chase him down. Marcello Rafrano, Mike Christopher Jr., and poor Steven Kopchik. We were just talking about him, Dave, a couple of weeks ago, battling for the title. Now he finds himself 5th, 96 back. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Definitely last week was a rough week for Steven Kopchik, as he was on the infield very early in the race. And I think, you saw the emotions on the big screen, how he felt with that. And, he was working his way into this title chase, and it's taken a pretty big hit.
But has time to recover, and no doubt some of the other drivers ahead of him in the championship standings, they have time to maybe have a miscue or hit a speed bump here or there in these last couple of months and really tighten up those championship standings. For the SK Light Modifieds, it's the Tyler and Tyler show, and it has been that case for most of this season. Tyler Berry, 14 points over Tyler Chapman, who's recovering from a big point lead earlier in the year, fell back about 40 points, and now Tyler Chapman beginning to claw his way in to the championship fight once again. Norm Sears, Chris Matthews, and Alex Pearl in the top 5 in points after a rough start to the 2022 campaign. We're going to jump right into it, though, as our first qualifying event rolling out onto the racetrack. It is for the street stocks. Good field of street stocks here this evening, the first of 2 qualifying events. Starting on the pole for race number 1, car number 69 from Belcherton, Massachusetts, the Roy's Auto Service Chevrolet. Our pole sitter is Bill Cody.
And outside of him, piloting the 71, Rico's Pizza, brings us Marvin Minkler from Stafford, Connecticut.
Inside row 2, car 46 from Manchester, Connecticut, the Finkbines landscaping entry for Jason Finkbine.
Back Road Smokin' Barbecue presents the number 80, East Hartford's Tyler Trott.
Fifth starter car number 51 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Jet Electric entry, second place point man Burt Willett.
Driving the number 19 out of Plainville, Connecticut, it's Adrian Paradis III in the CSB Communications sponsored entry.
Then it's the current point leader, car number 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut, Haidar Construction providing the sponsorship for Travis Haidar.
Tri-State Elevator and Hoist LLC brings us Cindy Sturk from Naugatuck, Connecticut in the 18.
And rounding out the fields, 9 cars strong, car number 36 from Columbia, Connecticut, the Maine Moose, providing a sponsorship for David Mesha Jr. That's the starting lineup here for our opening qualifying event for the street stocks. Good field of cars once again, 2 heat races on tap in a point battle that was tight a couple of weeks ago, but a couple of good weeks for Travis Haidar has allowed him to tiptoe away at the point. 48 points in hand over Burt Willett. Bobby Sturk III coming off his 3rd career win and his 3rd win of the season a week ago. He'll be in our next heat race. Green flag is out off turn 4. We're underway in heat race 1.
And on the outside, it looks like Marvin Minkler trying to stake his claim to the lead. And then inside Cody as he slides a bit off the corner. A little contact with Finkbine, and will look to stay green off turn 2.
Marvin Minkler leads up the back straightaway. Finkbine in second, trotting up to 3rd as the Cody car shuffled the deck in the outside lane and will fall outside of the top 7 as they cross the line to complete lap number 1. The current point leader, man on a mission right now, car number 11, Travis Haidar.
And Haidar trying to pick up the spot with Burt Willett in front of him. Those 2 cars trying to close in on the 80 of Trott as they wheel their way into turn number 3.
Singling out through the field off the corner, battle for the lead, tightening up. Here comes Finkbine looking to the inside of Marvin Minkler for the race lead. Finkbine in car number 46. Marvin Minkler in the 71's been so close to that win. Is tonight the night? So far, so good in the opening qualifying event of the evening here for the street stocks. Top 2 looking to pull away from the rest of the field.
And they come across the line. It is still Minkler with the lead. Finkbine trying to put the full court press on as we are down to the final 2 laps. Popsicle sticks shown by Mike Helberg.
Just 5 lap qualifying events for the street stock competitors. Burt Willett, Travis Haidar, good race for the battle for position number 4 on the Speedway. Willett has it, Haidar wants it. Here's Finkbine stepping out of line for the lead on Minkler with the white flag out, 1 lap to go.
They'll go down into turn number 1. Can Minkler hang on the outside? Finkbine, a little touch as they go off turn 2, gets to the door handle as they streak down the backstretch.
Jason Finkbine had a look to the inside, got loose off of turn number 2, and might give up the runner-up spot to Trott off of turn number 4. Here comes Travis Haidar further back. Checkered flag is out, and Marvin Minkler will take down the win here in our opening qualifying event for the street stocks over Jason Finkbine in 2nd, Tyler Trott in 3rd, Burt Willett 4th, and Travis Haidar rounding out the top 5. Further back, you had Adrian Paradis in the 19 that finished in the next spot as the street stock heat race number 1 heads back to the pit area. Heat race number 2 going to take to the racetrack here in just a moment. Bill Cody and David Mesha Jr. were the 8 drivers to finish that first qualifying event for the street stocks. Heat race number 2 rolling out onto the racetrack as we speak. On the pole, car number 55 from Chicopee, Massachusetts, Homestyle Cafe providing the sponsorship for the Chevrolet, driven by Brandon Warren.
Next up on the field, driving the 21, Somers, Connecticut, brings us Jason Lafayette, and he is brought to us by Tri-State Equipment Repair.
3rd starter, car number 42 from Barkhamsted, Connecticut, PJ Ladola and Sons Electrical Contractors bring us Travis Downey.
Busy Bees Learning Center brings us the 16, Chaplin, Connecticut's Nicholas Hovey.
Talked about him a moment ago as last week's winner. He'll start 5th here in this 2nd qualifying event. The driver of car number 9 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, A6A Associates and Greg's Lawn Care and Snow Removal. The entry for Bobby Sturk III.
The 37 of David Masha Sr. from Columbia, Connecticut in the Maine Moose sponsored entry.
7-starter car number 44 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, the Stafford Veterinary Center entry for Rob Sears.
Berlin, Connecticut brings us the 17. Pat Grady, Accelerated Electrical Services, brings us the car.
And rounding out the field, car number 94 from Goshen, Connecticut, the New York Sports Show, providing the sponsorship for the Chevrolet, driven by Chris Danielchuk. As the field comes across the stripe, gets the 1-to-go signal in this second qualifying event for the street stocks.
So as we get set to go, the field assembling behind the pace car. Kyle? No, who are you looking for in this one to make a big start?
I like Travis Downey in the 42. He has been strong all season. Hard to go against last week's winner. For Bobby Sturck, 9 cars scheduled to take the green, 8 on the racetrack. So we'll see who is not going to take the green here in just a moment. As the field comes off of turn number 4, Brandon Warren is at the front of the field in car number 55, and green flag is out. I do not see Sturck out on the racetrack as the field goes to turn number 1.
And it is a side-by-side duel between both Warren and Lafayette. Lafayette nosing the 21 out into the lead to look to clear the 55, but a power surge by the 55 on the inside. Lafayette trying to hang on as they'll try to complete lap number 1.
Jason Lafayette, a veteran of this division here at Stafford, showing his veteran moves right now in the outside lane, taking the top spot away. Here comes Downey to the inside of Brandon Warren for second. The 16 right there in third for Nicholas Hovey as they race up the back straightaway.
So it is Downey on the inside, Warren on the outside. Closing into the back bumper of Downey is the 16 of Hovey. That may lock Warren out as they go down into turn number 1.
Good three-way battle for position 2, 3, and 4 on the Speedway. Downey to the inside of Warren. Best seat in the house, Nicholas Hovey in the 16, who now goes to the inside as the inside lane advances off of turn number 2. Warren will backslide to position number 5 as Mesha moves up to 6th. 2 laps to go for our race leader, Jason Lafayette.
And we'll see if Mesha can move in and grab that 4th spot. He right now has to worry about the 96 of Danielchuk, who's trailing him as they come off the corner and down the backstretch. Danielchuk with a look as they'll move into turn number 3.
Into turn 3 they go. Lafayette at the point and pulling away. Danielchuk further back, looking to the inside of Mesha for that 5th spot. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Jason Lafayette. Travis Downey in 2nd, Nicholas Hovey in 3rd, Warren in 4th, then that ongoing battle for the 5th spot between Mesha and Danielchuk.
So Lafayette will come off turn number 4, race down to the stripe, and pick up the heat race win as he gets the checker from Mike Helbert. Finishing in 2nd is the 42 of Travis Downey, Nicholas Hovey 3rd in the 16, and Warren comes home 4th in the 55.
And it's David Mesha Sr. crossing the line in 5th. Christopher Danielchuk in 6th, Pat Grady 7th, Rob Sears in the 8th position. Bobby Sturck scheduled to start in that qualifying event, car number 9, but did not. So we'll see if we can follow up and see exactly what's going on with last week's feature winner as we get set to go with our limited late models. They are up next for a pair of qualifying events. Rich Hammond, the championship leader in car number 28, has a slim 10-point advantage over Jeremy Lavoie. And it's going to be Hammond leading the field out onto the racetrack for this opening qualifying heat race. 7 cars looking to lead the field to the green flag is car number 17, our scheduled pole sitter from Canton, Connecticut, Genco Construction, providing the sponsorship for Ari Jensick.
Agawam, Massachusetts brings us to 14, Kevin Cormier, and he is brought to us by Garrett's Carpentry.
3rd starter, our point leader, we told you about him a moment ago, from Tolland, Connecticut, the Napa of Tolland entry for Rich Hammond.
Genco Construction pilots, and Devin Jensick is the pilot of the 23 from Canton, Connecticut.
5th starter, our defending champion in this division and last week's winner, car number 12 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Broadbrook Brewing, the sponsorship for Alexandra Fern.
Jeremy Lavoie pilots the number 6, Rosati's, and Bobcat of Connecticut for the Windsor Locks driver.
And rounding out the 7-car field, car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, Daddy-O Honey, providing the entry for Dana Ray. 7 drivers set to go here for the limited limited late models. We told you a week ago it was Alexandra Fern taking down the race win, her second of the season, her 17th in her career here in the limited late models. Only sits fourth in points. Remember, she had a couple of rough weeks early in the season, right out of the box. Had a couple of wrecks off of turn number 4. Put her behind in the championship standings. She's trying to claw her way back in, currently 42 points behind point leader Rich Hammond.
And in her interview with me last week in the Victory Circle, she said she wasn't going to be as nice as she had been in the last few weeks on the track. She felt that she was getting taken advantage of.
Step up the aggressiveness a little bit, and it paid off for her a week ago. Pace car is in, set to go here in heat race number 1 for the limited late models off of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Kevin Cormier in the outside lane gets the jump going into turn number 1 on Ari Jensic, who falls to second. Then the battle for third. Rich Hammond has a good look to the inside in car number 28. I believe that's make that Devin Jensic in the outside lane, trying to get a run and propel the outside lane forward.
So Devin Jensic, and that outside lane does move forward, Kyle. Also streaking to the outside is the 6th. That's Jeremy Lavoie. He grabs third away from Ari Jensic. Right behind her, she has two pretty big heavy hitters, as now it's Hammond will try to make his way down low on Ari as they go down into turn number 3.
Been a couple of weeks since Hammond has last visited Victory Lane, our current point leader, June 17th. The last time we saw that 28 car in Napa Victory Lane. And that streak here tonight, moves up to 4th in this heat race. Fern is 5th. Good battle for 2nd. Devin Jensic, car number 23. Car length in hand over Jeremy Lavoie, the former 2-time champion in this division. And yes, Devin and Ari, they are not only siblings, but they are twins. Devin Jensic, car 23, exactly 1 minute older than Ari Jensic in car number 17.
And Devin Jensic has to worry about the 6 of Lavoie. Lavoie had a little bit of a run as they went down into turn 1, loses some time and space on the track, but Lavoie closing up. Also Hammond closing up, so he may make his way into the picture.
Yeah, a little slip there in turn number 4 for Rich Hammond, and Alex Fern had to look to the inside. Both of those cars lost ground to the top 3, led by Cormier, the race leader in the 14. Devin Jensic in car number 23. In the 2nd spot for Devin, he is a race winner this year in a division that has seen 8 different faces in Victory Lane thus far in the first 12 events. Along with Jeremy Lavoie, who picked up his first win just a couple of weeks ago in car number 6. Hammond once again closing back in, as is Alex Fern in 5th. 2 laps to go this time, and the top 5 are all nose to tail off turn 4.
And Cormier has had some great runs in the feature, has yet to really put it together and grab that win. Right now, he has about a car length advantage over the 23 of Devin Jensic. Jensic in tow, then the 6 of Lavoie, and Hammond has moved into the 4th spot as those 4 cars freight train their way down into turn number 3.
5 car lengths ahead of Alex Fern, running unchallenged in the 5th spot right now. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for the rookie, Kevin Cormier. Agawam, Massachusetts native, leads the field off of turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. Final time in this opening qualifying event for the limited late models. He leads over Devin Jensic by a car length coming to the checkered.
So Kevin Cormier will bring it across the line, taking the win in the 14. Right behind him will be Devin Jensic in the 23. Jeremy Lavoie brings it home 3rd. Then it is Rich Hammond 4th. Alexandra Fern comes home 5th. Ari Jensic 6th. And Dana Ray in the 42 rounded out our field.
So half of our limited late model field now qualified for their feature event later this evening. Again, 8 different winners in the first 12 races. Kevin Cormier looking to be the newest winner of the limited late model division here tonight. Looking to get not only his first career win, but also looking to add to that list of impressive winners already this season. Kevin in car number 14, that car continuing to get better each and every week. Has a runner-up finish about a month and a half ago, but still looking for that first trip to Napa Victory Lane. Limited late model heat race number 2 already beginning to take to the racetrack. Another 7 cars strong. Car number 59, a driver looking to turn his luck around. We heard from him in our pit preview a few minutes ago. Our pole sitter in this second qualifying event, the 59 from Wethersfield, Connecticut, the Clement Motorsports Chevrolet for Matt Clement.
Alongside of him, another Clement Motorsports entry. It is Jay Clement in the 95 from Wethersfield.
Car number 87 is next from Willington, Connecticut, the Casa Grande Builders Chevrolet for Damian Pilardi.
This driver won all the way back on Sizzler weekend. It's the JRC Transportation number 10, Litchfield's Matt Scapini.
Fifth starter, driver of car number 22, one of the multi-time winners this season from New Hartford, Connecticut, the Dazed Cannabis and GP Fence entry for Gary Patnode.
Schindler Family Farm presents the number 7, David Schindler from West Cranby, Connecticut.
Seventh starter, car number 77 from Holland, Massachusetts, the Rob Russell Chassis and 5-Star Auto Chevrolet for Trinity Provost. Your starting lineup for heat race number 2 for the limited late models. Gary Patnode in this event. 2 wins on the season as far as feature racing, including 2 weeks ago. Had 4 different winners the last 4 weeks. Very competitive. I feel like this division gets more competitive each and every week and each and every season.
Yeah,
I believe we had, 7 or 8 different winners a year ago and looking to top that here in 2022.
So we'll see what happens. We mentioned earlier about Matt Clement having to make some repairs in that 59 after an accident last week. He grabbed a win way back on July the 1st, starting the month with a win. He'll look to see if he can cap it off with a win. Our final Friday night, and where did the month go?
Where did the month go? Where has this summer gone? It has flown by. Hard to believe August is upon us. Field in turn number 3, lined up, ready to go here in heat race number 2 for the limited late models. Matt Clement, Jay Clement, front row. Off turn number 4, green flag is out. We're off and rolling, and it is Matt Clement that gets the jump on the inside lane. Jay trying to hang tough top side, but comes under fire from Damian Pilardi, who looks to the inside for the second spot. Gary Patnode is there in 4th. Matt Scapini in car number 10, our first winner of the season in 5th.
So Jay will lead him off the corner and complete lap number 1. Actually, it's Matt. Then Jay is running in 2nd. Then we have Damon Pilardi. Those are our top 3 cars. We'll look to see what Patnode can do. He had a struggle last Friday night here at Stafford in that 22 machine. And he's trying to work his way up. He sits in the 4th position as they go into turn number 3.
Top 5 cars, single file, front of the field. Off of turn number 4, it is Clement at the point. Matt Clement, that is, over Jay in 2nd. Damian Pilardi in 3rd, one of the more improved drivers that we have seen here in 2022, picking up a win earlier this year. 22 is right there in 4th for Gary Patnode, and Matt Scapini rounding out the top 5. They've been able to break away from Dave Schinder in car number 7, and Trinity Provost in the 77, running 6 and 7.
So the top 5 cars content to work their way single file right now. We'll see if anything picks up in the final 4 laps of this event, but it's the battle of the Clement brothers who lead the charge coming off the corner. Damon Pilardi is in 3rd, and he may have a visit soon paid to him by the 22 of Patnode.
And Patnode right there looking inside and out, halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. In that battle for 3rd, Damian Pilardi has it. Here again, Patnode looking to the inside off of turn number 2. Does he have enough momentum on the inside lane? The answer is no. Pilardi will hang on to that 3rd spot for now.
It looks like Pilardi has just enough to hold off Patnode. Patnode's able to get there, but unable to complete the pass as they go down into turn number 1. Once again, Patnode looks to the inside, finds the window closed by Pilardi.
Matt Clement continues to lead in car number 59, a driver that wasn't even sure he was going to be here after being involved in a multi-car incident on the back straightaway last week during the feature event. Had some help getting that car put back together, and he is here this evening, and the car looks good right now in this second qualifying event, leading the way and pulling away right now from Jay in the 2nd spot. Pilardi and Patnode still getting at it hot and heavy for 3rd. White flag, 1 lap to go.
We're down to the final lap, and right now it's Matt Clement out in front by about 3 car lengths. Jay sits in 2nd in the 95. The best battle on the track may not be done yet. Damian Pilardi trying to hold off Gary Patnode as they go into turn number 3. Clement will come off turn 4. He'll look for the checkered flag, race to the stripe, and pick up the heat race win. Matt Clement with the win. Jay Clement comes home second, and Damian Pilardi made up our top 3.
Gary Patnode crossed the line in 4th, Matt Scapini in 5th, then it was Dave Schinder in 6th, and off of turn number 4 now to get the checkered flag, the 77 for Trinity Provost. So qualifying now complete for the limited late models as we get set to move into our third and final fender division that'll be in competition here tonight. Those are the late model stock cars. Again, 2 more qualifying events for the late models here this evening. And a familiar face to lead the field around to the green flag for heat race number 1 here, just returning to the Speedway a couple of weeks ago. Good to see Andrew Duran back with us here at Stafford. And we'll lead the field to green here in this the opening late model qualifying event. We'll jump into that starting lineup as the cars enter the racetrack. Car 43, hailing from Chicopee, Massachusetts. The pole sitter is Andrew Duran.
Setting up shop outside of him, driving the number 10 from Fairfield, Connecticut, it'll be Wayne Corey Jr.
Third starter, car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, DMW Graphics and Greg's Lawn Care and Snow Removal entry for Michael Ray.
Then we have the 31. It's Shelton, Connecticut's Andrew Moeller.
Car number 92 is next from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. King Gray Coach Lines bring us Tom Fern.
The hottest driver in this division and our points leader. It'll be the number 97 from Granby, Massachusetts, Adam Gray.
And rounding out the 7-car field, car number 2 from Monroe, Connecticut, the Green Knolls Landscaping Chevrolet for Dwayne Knoll. That's our starting lineup for the first qualifying event for the late models. You mentioned Adam Gray a moment ago. The last couple, I say the last couple of weeks, the last 8 weeks, he has been hot as a pistol, and that's why he is the championship point leader by 28. Picked up his 30th career win last week, his 5th win of the season. And in the last 8 weeks, he has 5 wins, 4 of which were consecutive to start the streak. And then in the middle, had 3 second-place finishes. The last driver to do that was Tom Fern, 2019.
And they both are featured in this race.
Yes, and Tom went on to win the championship that year. Had 6 wins in his streak of 8 top 2 finishes. So some big names and some big numbers in this qualifying event between Tom Fern and Adam Gray. They are side by side in row 3 as Andrew Duran leads the field into turn number 2 to begin this first qualifying event for the late models.
And on the outside trying to go to work is Wayne Corey Jr. in the 10. Now taking a streak, a look down low and trying to make it 3 wide is the 42 of Michael Ray. They'll come off the corner. Ray is denied. It is still the side-by-side run for the lead as they go into 1.
And it's going to be Ray with the advantage in the outside lane. Make that Corey in the outside lane as the leader by a half a car length. Duran to the inside. Then it's Ray in a side-by-side battle for position at number 3. Top 4 cars all doubled up. A high-speed pace lap off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 2.
And Ray getting a little out of control as he was first and now trying to work his way underneath. And 2 cars we have yet really to see make a move. Tom Fern beginning to chug through the field, and on his back bumper, the 97 of Gray.
It's early, as we are only on lap number 3 of this 8-lap qualifying event. Here comes Tom Fern. Further up, here comes Michael Ray, gets into Durand, who gets Durand out of shape just a bit. Everybody is able to gather it back up, and they are almost side by side for the lead. Durand strong in the outside lane. Ray strong on the bottom. Tom Fern, best seat in the house there in 3rd. Corey to his right elbow in 4th.
We'll see if Ray can make the pass this time, coming off turn number 4. He does. In tow is the 92 of Fern. Right behind him, here comes our points leader in Adam Gray, as he'll look to grab the 3rd spot from Duran.
Great race at the front of the field. Up the back straightaway. Just past halfway in this first qualifying event. Tom Fern looking to the inside of Ray off of turn number 4. He's there, but it's Ray at the stripe by about 0.04 of a second, and that didn't last long because by the time they got to turn number 2, Tom Fern able to clear Michael Ray for the race lead and pull away, and does so just in time because here comes Adam Gray up to second.
So Gray was able to get by Ray. Then we have the 43 of Durant, the 31 of Moeller, the 10 of Curry, and the 2 of Knoll round out our field. We're trying to track down our leader. Here comes Adam Gray. It's Tom Fern in turn number 2 as they'll hit the white flag lap.
White flag's up, 1 lap to go from the starter stand, and Tom Fern out front by a comfortable 3 car lengths over Adam Gray, last week's winner and current point leader. In fact, they are 1-2 in points. Gray, the championship leader, Fern in second. Right now, the race leader. And into turn 3 for the final time, car 92 looking for another checkered flag.
So Tom Fern comes off the corner down to the stripe where he greets Craig Merriman with the checkered flag. Fern, your winner. Adam Gray second. Michael Ray comes home third. Then we have Andrew Duran in the 43 coming home fourth.
Andrew Moeller rounded out the top 5. Wayne Corey Jr. and Dwayne Knoll completed the running order of our first late model qualifying event. Round number 2 will take to the racetrack here in just a moment. Another 7 cars strong. Leading the field to green, car number 61 from North Haven, Connecticut, the Blake Company Incorporated Chevrolet for John Blake.
Setting up shop outside of him, driving the 39. Tavern on the Tracks brings us Paul Verrecchio Jr. from Berlin, Connecticut.
Third starter, car number 82 from Northridge, Massachusetts, Supreme Industries bring us Paul LaRue.
This driver had a strong second place finish last week in the Big Kahuna Racing Jarmock Farms 79 Enfield's Darrell Keene.
Fifth starter, car number 23, race winner 2 weeks ago in the Levine Law Chevrolet, car number 23 from Ellington, it's Kevin Gambacorta.
Coming to us from Wellington, driving the 19, Obashan Hardware brings us Michael Bennett.
And rounding out the 7-car field, car number 33 from Barkhamsted, Connecticut, the AVI Incorporated entry for Adon Burrell. That's the lineup here for qualifying race number 2 for the late models, featuring Michael Bennett out there on the racetrack, car number 19. Took a couple of weeks off after a big incident at the start of the month in turn number 1. Came back last week to a 6th place finish for the driver that has 25 career late model wins, but none thus far this season. Is tonight the night. Car number 19 gets back to victory lane, a multi-time track champion, including the defending track champion, winning the title a year ago. Field doubled up in there, rows of 2, ready to go, led by John Blake in car number 61. 1 career win coming last September. Looking for his first win of the season, as just a couple of top 5 efforts thus far this season. Hopefully, may have found something during the week to propel that 61 car, perhaps, to Napa victory lane here tonight. Green is out, off and rolling, heat number 2 for the late models. And it is Blake and Verrecchio to lead the field to turn 1.
So the inside line begins to lurch forward. Also there, Paul LaRue. He takes up the battle with Verrecchio for the 2nd spot. And Kevin Gambacorta, who had a strong car last week, picking up a podium finish, bringing the 23 home 3rd.
There they come off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. It's Blake out front and pulling away from Paul LaRue in 2nd, who has his hands full with Gambacorta in 3rd. Here comes Bennett challenging for position number 4 with Verrecchio to his outside. Darrell Keene, such a good run a week ago in the feature, ending up on the podium, looking to battle his way into the top 5 in this qualifying event in car number 79.
And it looks like Keene is able to slice his way into the 5th spot, but they're all trying to track down John Blake, who got a great jump off the start, has a big lead going into turn number 3. Paul LaRue, though, has his hands full as Kevin Gambacorta tries to pick up the pace as they'll come across the line.
Gambacorta right there in car number 23 on his back bumper. Michael Bennett right there in 3rd in car number 19. They stack up from second on back. John Blake loves what he's seeing behind him in car number 61, as he is able to break away from Paul LaRue, Kevin Gambacorta, Michael Bennett, and Daryl Keene as they come off the corner. 4 down, 4 to go in this second qualifying event for the late models.
So Blake pulling away, and he is able to get that advantage because 2 cars behind him now battling for the second spot. It's Gambacorta who gets a nose under the 82, unable to get the job done as they go into turn number 3. Right now he's up to the 8 on Paul LaRue's doors as they'll come across the line, race down to the stripe. It is still Paul LaRue on the outside. Kevin Gambacorta trying to wedge his way into second in turn number 1. Right behind him, it's the 19 of Michael Bennett. So Bennett's trying to grab a spot as they'll go down the backstretch and into 3. He'll look to move into 3rd. Daryl Keene may also Xerox that pass on a route who's left on high and dry on the outside.
Yeah, stuck in that outside lane, having a tough time getting that 82 car back to the bottom. Keene will fill the hole this time up the front straightaway and take the 4th spot. And now Verrecchio will try to follow suit in car number 39. As the route continues to fade through the field. White flag is up from Craig Merriman on the starter stand. White flag, 1 lap to go for John Blake, car number 61.
So Blake has had the lead from the drop of the green flag. Gambacorta closing in ever so slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to track down Blake in the final 2 turns of this race. Blake will go into turn number 3. Gambacorta closing. Merriman with the checkered flag in his hand, and it'll be the 61 of John Blake going wire to wire and taking the win.
Kevin Gambacorta will finish in second. Michael Bennett up to finish 3rd. Daryl Keene 4th. The front half of the field. Behind Bennett in the 4th spot was Verrecchio in car number 39. Paul finishing in 5th. Then it was Paul LaRue in the 6th spot, and Adon Burrell finishing in the 7th. We'd like to thank all of those that watched, have been watching on Facebook and on our YouTube streams. All the early qualifying action here. If you want to watch the rest of the program, however, including SK Light and SK Modified qualifying in all 5 features tonight, head on over to Flow Racing, the official streaming provider of the